Is the Ulysses writing app worth your time, and is it worth your money? Hi there, my name is Brian Collins and welcome to the Become a Writer Today channel. In this review, I'm going to walk through exactly how I use Ulysses writing app and if it's something that you should consider. I hope you enjoy the content in this video. If you do, hit thumbs up. If you want to get more reviews like this or more videos about the writing process, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're planning on writing more, you may be wondering, is there an easier and more effective tool than old apps and text editors and Microsoft Word? Many standard writing apps are painful to use thanks to all of the formatting options, rulers, and all of the other distractions. Enter Ulysses. If you're not familiar with Ulysses, it's a minimalist, distraction-free writing app. I've tested Ulysses extensively to write a series of articles, blog posts, and also to manage chapters for a book, as well as for more complicated writing projects. I'm going to walk through exactly how I'm using Ulysses in just a moment. But first, how much does Ulysses cost? Well, it's $4.99 per month, which isn't a huge amount of money to spend on a writing app. But that said, if you're a writer on a really tight budget, perhaps you can use Google Docs until you can afford the $4.99 a month or the $49.99 per year. The other big caveat is Ulysses is Mac only, unfortunately. It's not available for Windows or for Android, and that means the developers are able to concentrate on building something that has a really great writing experience. Unfortunately, if you're using a Windows or Android device, you're out of luck and you're probably better served by alternatives like IA Writer. I use Ulysses writing app on a Mac, on an iPad, and occasionally on an iPhone, and I'm going to cover how I use it on all of those devices. But first, here's the Ulysses writing app in action. So when you open up Ulysses, you'll be presented with a document editor that looks like this. Now, Ulysses is a writing app that recognizes markdown. If you're not familiar with markdown, it's basically a special type of syntax for writing and for formatting your content for the web and for other publications. Basically, you can use hashtags to add H2s. So one hashtag is a H1, two hashtags are a H2. You can use brackets to easily add URLs or hyperlinks. You can use stars or asterisks to put something in bold or italics. And it's a quick way of formatting your work rather than worrying about the formatting rules and options inside of Word or Google Docs or traditional writing app. So this is the Ulysses review that I wrote that is a companion to this video review. And I wrote it in Markdown. So you can see here that I have entries in H2. And also I'm going to put this in bold so you can see what it looks like as well. Now I'm going to click the preview mode so you can see what Markdown looks like in action. And I'm also going to show you a preview so you can see how Ulysses will help you prepare your writing for publication. So here's the Ulysses writing app review. And you can see it's added the H2 and the H1 before I published this to the web. It's put this in italics and it's also put in elements in bold as well based on Markdown. What I would do then is read through the article and then I would go and make edits that I need to make before clicking publish. And then you could regenerate your preview or you can simply reload it and it will display your edits on screen. It's worth pointing out as well that you can preview what your articles will look like as an article online. But if you click the publishing option, you could also preview them as a PDF. So you can preview them as a docx or Word doc file, EPUB. And that's useful if you're writing a book, and I'm going to cover that use case in a moment. A standard HTML file and a text file. Then when you're ready, all you do is click publish, and then Ulysses will publish to your preferred output method of choice. So in this case, I've connected Ulysses to my Ghost blog, and then if I click publish, Ulysses will automatically publish this to my site. So I'm going to click publish so you can see what this will look like. Now this is now live, or this is saved as a draft on my Ghost personal blog. And then I can go ahead and make any additional edits I want to make and then click publish. You can also do the exact same workflow for WordPress and Medium as well. And that brings me to why I really like Ulysses, because I write all of my articles today inside of Ulysses and then I publish them to either WordPress or to my Ghost personal blog. And occasionally I'll publish them to Medium as well. In other words, it saves the amount of time I'm actually spending logging in and out of these different sites and worrying about all of my drafts. I can manage all of my writing in one place inside of Ulysses. At the start of the video review, I said that Ulysses is a minimalist, distraction-free writing app. So there's quite a lot of sidebars here in the information. But don't worry, you can easily get rid of them on your Mac or on your tablet. Using keyboard shortcuts, so Command 1 and Command 2 and Command 4, you can remove or hide any of these sidebars. So you can see if I hide all of them, I have a minimalist writing experience. You can also turn on typewriter mode, which I recommend if you're using a large monitor. So I'm currently typing on a 27-inch iMac, and that can sometimes mean that my writing will move very far down the screen. But if I turn on typewriter mode, it will automatically bring it up to the center of the screen, and this means that the cursor is always in a fixed location, which makes it easier for me to work on those first drafts. Ulysses also enables you to switch to different themes. So there is a dark mode. There's also a paged mode if you want to view it as a page. Personally, I prefer the standard option for writing in Ulysses. Now I want to talk a moment about some of the sidebars and how you can use them. So the first sidebar I'm going to talk about is actually the one on the right hand side, and this relates to how you can use markdown. So you can see here it has an outline of your article. So I can actually click on sections in the outline to navigate through my article, and this is really good for self-editing. The second thing you can do is you can add keywords, and this helps with organizing all of your articles in the library, which I'll show you in a moment. You can set a publication status, or it will automatically update if you've published it to your WordPress site. And you can get information about your characters, word count, and average reading time. You can also go over here to get additional information, which will help you with the self-editing process. You can also go over here to add your notes about the document. So if you've got something that you want to add to the document, but you don't want it to appear, you can add it to the notes section. Now it's worth pointing out that you can also use markdown to do this. So if I type in "this is a note," this will not appear in the published version. So sometimes I'll do something like add an image. And then when I go to prepare my article for publication, I will just see this note, and that will tell me that I need to add an image to the article in question. And you can see here that it comes up as an annotation as well. And if you have images ready, you can actually drag them into Ulysses and add them as attachments, and then drag them also into the document as well. And then Ulysses will publish them all to your site. I don't personally do that much, as I like to add the images manually to the site so I can make sure that all tags and so on are set up. But this is again a great way of using Ulysses as a complete document management and writing library. So if you're unfamiliar with how Markdown writing apps work, basically all of your writing is organized as a series of text files that are accessible outside of Ulysses and other minimalist writing apps. It basically sits on top of your writing. So you can find any of these in Finder if you want, or you can export them and finish editing in a different document. Now, basically the library that I have here has hundreds of different articles that I've written over the years. So I can search. So if I typed in NFTs, so this is a topic I've been writing about lately, I can see all of my articles about NFTs. Alternatively, I can bring up this quick search by pressing Command O, and then I can navigate to everything in my document library. And this shows why Ulysses is fantastic for organizing your writing. Now I'm going to show you how to organize your writing inside of Ulysses. You simply press Command N or use the menu to add a new sheet, and then you just start writing. And a sheet is basically your article or your book chapter. And then it'll automatically appear in the last 7 days or in all, which is all of your library. If you want to organize your writing, I'd recommend that you use groups. Groups is basically a way of connecting related sheets. So let's say I was writing a book about NFTs. I would create a group called NFT book, or whatever the title of the book is. And then I would start dragging in articles into this particular group. So let's say this is a chapter about NFTs. I would drag this into the NFT book, and then I would add all of my chapters in here. But you can also create subgroups. So this is how you could create different acts for your book if you're following the 3-act structure. So I'm going to create another group. So Act 1, and then it will sit under book. And basically you can have your book organized like this, and then you can easily drag articles or chapters in your book around and organize them. Earlier on this year, I was actually working on an idea for a new book all about making art in the morning and making money in the afternoon. I'm not sure if we're going to publish that book just yet, but I've organized it into different sections for the book, and each section has chapters. And I'll potentially go through these when I'm editing and decide which ones I want to turn into articles and publish to my site, and which ones are book chapters. Now you can also organize your writing using hashtags or keywords, like which I've shown you there a few minutes ago. So I recommend coming up with your own keyword system, like to do, doing, and done. A big part of writing a book or articles is your research, and you can organize your research inside Ulysses using materials sheets. So simply create a new material sheet, and into it you can add your transcripts, your interviews, and so on. So for example, here's an article I wrote about meditation for creativity. And if I was interviewing somebody about this topic, I would create a material sheet with the interview transcript. So here's a sheet that I prepared earlier. It's an interview with Sasha Fast. And what I would do is open this up in a new window or in a new tab. So in this case, I'm going to open it up in a new window. This will pop up on my right-hand sidebar. This works particularly well if you're on a large monitor. And then I'll go back over to my article. So I'll just open up any article so you can see how it would work. And then I'd hide the sidebar. And then I would have these documents side by side. And what I would do is paste in relevant extracts from this particular interview into the article. So that's one way you can organize your research inside of Ulysses. I mostly use Ulysses on a Mac, but sometimes I like to write on a tablet. And Ulysses syncs across all of your devices with iCloud, or alternatively, you can save it locally as text files on your computer that you can access with any writing app. You can also customize the font, so I currently use Curry or Prime. There's not too many options because it is a minimalist writing app. You can also add your different accounts in the connectivity option, so I've added my Medium and Ghost account. You can also determine how your writing is backed up. And Ulysses has privacy options as well. So basically, if you wanted to use it for journaling or other items that you want to keep sensitive, you can add a password. Ulysses also has a number of styles that you can apply to your PDFs, to your EPUBs, and to your HTML documents. So what I'd recommend you do is preview the styles or write your article, preview it, and then go through the different styles and see which one is most relevant to your writing. That's my video review of Ulysses. In short, it's not the cheapest minimalist writing app out there. It costs you $4.99 per month. To be honest, that's not much to pay for something that does as much as Ulysses does. Unfortunately, it's Mac only, but because it's Mac only, it excels at everything it does on a Mac or a tablet. It's my minimalist writing app of choice. It's my markdown writing app of choice. I currently use Ulysses to write articles and to manage my longer form writing. If you do want an alternative to Ulysses, check out IA Writer, which is also available on Windows. Byword is another good option, although I don't think it's available on Windows. And if you really don't want to use a minimalist writing app, or you don't like the idea of using Markdown, then you could check out Scrivener. That said, the learning curve for Markdown is pretty short. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to learn, and Ulysses actually has a cheat sheet that you can access for your Markdown.